You can tell a lot about who a person really is when you scroll through their phone. When I watch this footage, I feel like I'm seeing a group of boys on holiday.
You got me?
I got you, man. Yalla, bismillah.
But by now, they're all dead. These bits of phone footage, never intended for our eyes, was recovered from the ruins of the ISIS project. This is the real thing. An insider view from the most notorious extremist group of our time. Of civilians playing soldiers. Of student turned killer. A lot of people will ask, are you doing a positive story though, or a negative story? And I'm really clear with people, there is no way to put a positive spin on the fact that your brother or your son or your friend went to Syria and their life ended. I'm Mobeen Azhar. I'm a journalist and I've spent years trying to answer the question, what turns someone into a violent extremist? Many of these men started out like me, British-born sons of immigrants with a real chance at a good life, but they went in another direction. Meddy Hassan, he came from a sleepy seaside town in Portsmouth. There's a video of his floating around online. He's at a dawah stall on the high street, preaching and inviting people to the path of God. Meddy kept his social media online when he left for Syria.
He just comes across like a regular guy. He likes koalas. I like koalas. He's got these clubbing pictures. Takes his shirt off a lot. And then he starts getting more outwardly political. There's this bit in August 2012. If you look at the date, he goes into Itikaf. Itikaf is this kind of retreat that you do in the mosque where you connect with God. Comes out of that and he's reflecting on a life of sin, whatever that meant for him.
By September, he's getting more outwardly religious, posting about private Quran lessons. And then, by January 2013, you can see he's talking about race and global politics. He's gone from a bar-going gym bunny to a keyboard warrior in the space of a few months, even Arabizing his name. 6 months later, he's gone to Syria. That's him at the airport with the other boys from Portsmouth. In the space of a year, he's completely reinvented himself. In January 2014, he's encouraging others to join ISIS. I want to meet his mom. Southsea is a regular seaside town. Meddy spent nearly his entire life here.
I spent a good half an hour on her doorstep and she chatted to me. She talked, and within the first 5 minutes, she was just crying. She said, we're not that kind of family. And the phrase she used, she said, we're a middle-class family, we all work. My other son is going to uni. And then she told me that Meddy had taken a year out because he'd just done his A-levels and he got AAB and he wanted 3 A's. She said, that's the kind of family we are.
The fact is, Meddy was still in touch with his old friends. You can see these conversations and he's exchanging these little pet names with the other boys. And then he's flirting with this idea of coming home. And this is 6 months after he arrives in Syria. He asks a question about a UCAS password. Why would you ask a question about a UCAS password if you weren't planning on coming back? And then he claims that he's been held by a rebel group. That shifts, and he's calling himself a photojournalist. And then eventually he posts, I'm not a terrorist. So it's as if he's rewriting the past few months of his life. And then there's this horrible picture that did the rounds. It's Meddy when he's lost his life. And if you look at the data on that picture, it was shot near the Turkish border. So there's a question at that point, was he in some kind of battle, or was he killed because he was seen as an ISIS deserter? The idea that he changed his mind and wanted to undo all the hurt he caused is just agonising. I've tracked down one of Meddy's childhood friends. He's agreed to meet me at the beach.
He was what we would call today, like back then, like woke. He genuinely, I think, just wanted to go out there and help.
The last few months he was still here.
Yeah.
What was it like? What was he like then?
I didn't really see him the last few months, and it was like others as well, where they hadn't really seen him at all. Like, and it was weird because it's a sort of small community. Like, one year he was one person, and then the next year he was a different guy.
You know, I found this tweet from him. Do you think he changed his mind once he was out there?
That's the worst thing. Like, he had like a change of heart, and he wanted to come back.
How do you know he had a change of heart?
He was asking if anyone knew any sort of lawyers and things like that. When it came to his death, that was probably the worst moment in my life. I got sent this tweet, and it was like photos of his dead face, like, and people just swearing and things like that. And that's the part that fucked me up, because I was like, shit, he's actually dead. And as one of his sort of real friends, I blamed myself. Like, I felt like I should have been there for him and could have stopped it in some sort of way. And that ate me up for a long time, and even to this day.
If Meddy hadn't have gone to Syria, it would have been him here on this beach with his friend, rather than me. ISIS left only fear and pain. This can't happen again.